Ontario cracks down on illegal marijuana shops in new legislation for sale, distribution. Ontario's Liberal government introduced legislation Wednesday to regulate the sale and distribution of recreational marijuana when it's legalized next summer. Attorney General Yasir Naqvi tabled the Cannibas Act at Queen's Park. The new rules are the first framework set out by any province or territory. They will take effect once the federal government legalizes the drug in July 2018. Ontario Attorney General Yasir Naqvi tabled the province's marijuana legislation on Wednesday. Chris Young Canadian Press, the province will crack down on illegal dispensaries with steep fines and limit the sale of pot to up to 150 standalone stores run by a subsidiary of the Ontario Liquor Control Board, separate from LCBO outlets selling alcohol, by 2020. These rules make it explicit that only Ontario Cannabis Retail Corporation could sell cannabis in the province of Ontario, said Naqvi. The province plans to open 40 stores by July 2018. Those stores will limit the sale of marijuana to people 19 or older to protect our youth, said Naqvi. The minimum age also applies to possession, use and home growing. This aligns it with alcohol and tobacco use, he said. New provincial rules to take effect in July 2018 will prohibit anyone under the age of 19 from purchasing, using or growing marijuana. The Associated Press, police will also have the power to confiscate small amounts of pot from youths under 19. Those who violate the law could be fined up to $200, or a court could refer them instead to an educational or prevention program. I want to be very clear, there will be no criminal record aside from a provincial offense, but most importantly, our purpose is not to punish our youth, but to educate our youth, explained Naqvi. It also stipulates the use of recreational cannabis will be prohibited in public places, cars and workplaces, and will only be allowed in private residences. Over the last year, police across the province have laid dozens of charges in a series of police raids on storefront marijuana dispensaries. While those who were charged won't go to court, Naqvi said Wednesday a big aspect of the bill aims to curb the sale of illegal drugs at storefronts by setting clear penalties for offenders. These shops, to the best of my knowledge, are illegal, have always been illegal, will continue to be illegal, and are not contemplated as being part of the regime going forward, said Naqvi. Illegal pot shops who defy the new rules will be fined and shut down, he said, adding police will be granted interim closure authority, allowing them to immediately shut down the premises if illicit activity is suspected. 3 large jars full of marijuana buds sit on the counter at a pot shop. The province will rely on police to ensure illegal cannabis dispensaries are shut down. Rafferty Baker CBC, individuals working in illegal dispensaries will face fines up to $250,000 and up to 2 years of jail time. Businesses could face penalties up to $1 million for the same offense. These are very steep penalties, and they escalate over time as well if somebody continues to sell illegally, he said, noting further fines of up to $100,000 and $500,000 will be invoked. It also puts restrictions on landlords who lease their premises knowingly to illegal pot stores, Naqvi said. He said this policy is necessary because of rising concerns about fentanyl, a deadly opioid often added to street drugs. These current stores, there are no provisions in federal law for them, he said. We don't know where their product is coming from. We don't know what is in their products. What we do know, it's almost a $7 billion industry in Canada, and a large chunk of that money is going to organized crime. That's not something we would condone. The government has been coy on potential pricing, saying decisions will be made after more details come from the federal government, but that the aim is stay away from overly expensive prices that fuel illegal sales. Municipalities in Ontario will find out in the coming weeks where the government wants to locate the first batch of cannabis stores, but the finance minister says none will be near schools,